I'll have to keep an eye on Audrey. I think the stress of everything is getting to her. Make it quick.
Don't you be starting to change.
If I had time for idle gossip, I wouldn't be seeking your assistance in the first place.
Damn it.
You'll have to speak to someone else. Point taken. Very well. The residents here are still a bit shaken up by recent events. And some less than recent events, for that matter. I'd recommend a light touch. You're not here to babysit. But there's also no need to be resistant to their requests. And unless Mr. Stolz himself walks in here and says otherwise, I'm not at liberty to disclose anything further. Your assignment does not require knowledge of the vault beyond the immediate area. You will find adequate signage for familiarizing yourself with the premises. Perhaps later, if you prove capable, we can talk in more detail. I've been spread thin dealing with surface-side security concerns. My more menial tasks have started to slip through the cracks, however. I can tell you're equipped to handle much worse. But tackling some issues from my backlog would be of great service to me, at least as a start. There are 3 in particular who often bring up issues to me. You can start there. I understand you value your time. However, I currently do not. Handle this for me and we can discuss fish of all sizes. They are vocal. They'll be more than happy to provide details on themselves. There are 3 residents that have been complaining about a myriad of concerns. Margaret, Lawrence, and Julio. Your best bet is to track them down. They're likely lounging about waiting for someone else to handle the hard work. They should have more than enough to keep you busy for the time being. Report back when it's been handled. In the meantime, I have other matters I need to attend to, so please, if you'd excuse me.
How that happened.
So you'll be with us for a while. Try not to get underfoot. You're back. I hope you have good news for me.
Been a long time since we had a good community gathering around here. Don't you be starting to change things up around here. We got a system and it works, damn it! Hey there.
How about some space, buddy? You're, standing a little close there.
Been a long time since we had a good community gathering around here. Ah, the one from outside. How's the storm?
You need something?
Don't you just hate rude people listening in on private conversations? Oh, a stranger. We haven't seen anyone from outside in a while. What brings you here?
Yeah, people who eavesdrop are the worst.
It's a shame we don't have the workforce to spruce this place up a little.
These jumpsuits don't leave much room for expression.
What's a ghoul?
Is that what they're calling our condition outside? Those bastards.
That means this is a widespread condition and not unique to us.
I suppose we do look ghoulish. Smooth skin? That's an interesting way of putting it.
Ooh, I like that. Those smooth-skinned bastards.
If we make contact with the outside again, it wouldn't hurt to use their terminology.
Thanks for the intel. Is there anything else? That we've spent far too long cooped up here. I can't wait to get back to work.
You said it, sister.
Is there anything else? Now, why would we tell you that, stranger?
Yeah, a real nosy stranger. Hey, Julio, get it? Because they got a nose and we don't.
It ruins the joke when you explain it, Lawrence.
Is there anything else? Chief Oberlin's finally getting around to dealing with this, huh? And sending in a stranger to boot. We must have it tough. Yeah, there's a few things we've brought up before. Most of it in the lower levels. Things like strange noises coming from the generator room. People are scared to go check it out in case one of the Lost are in
Supplies
there.
are starting to dwindle a little. Even with the stockpile.
Oh,
and the supply
also, we
runs.
have a huge rat problem in the storage room. As in, huge rats. Last time I was on a food run, something jumped right past me and snatched it. Damn near took my arm with it, too.
And, someone should probably take care of Alfie.
Yeah. Alfie was one of us, but his condition got worse until he got us to lock him in his room. He's probably lost his mind by now, but no one could bring themselves to do what needs to be done. You didn't know him, though. If there's anything you could do for him, we'd appreciate it. We're just guessing, to be honest. Hard to tell why the Lost do anything they do.
The new animal.
We've been hearing whispers and pops like static electricity, which is pretty much exactly what the Lost sound like. We also know what happens when you get too close. They'd kill us as soon as you'd squash a bug.
That's if they don't turn us into one of them first. There's too few of us left now to take a risk like that, but, you look very capable.
Is there anything else? Rad rats? We'll need to make a note of all these new terms outsiders use.
Since the earthquake, we've been experiencing more and more of the wasteland's wonders. And we're not exterminators, much less seasoned fighters. That's why we put in a security request to deal with it.
They've been left like that for so long. They've probably multiplied by now.
You reckon that's
Is there anything else?
worse or better?
Alfie was a good guy. Had a tendency to overdo things, though.
Remember when he skipped work because he wanted to find out if we could still get hangovers after the change?
Yeah, I remember that. I had to take over his shift the next day, that bastard.
His apartment is in the lower levels. The key is still down there. Somewhere. Is there anything else? You can get to the lower levels from the elevators just over there. There's also a stairwell down just across the atrium that leads directly to the storage room. Good luck, and thank you.
Good luck down there, and, welcome to Vault 63.
I'm tired of
And then
all
I saw...
tape.
Do you
Security
mind?
checks just to get a breath of barely fresh air.
Are there many like us out there? You know, with the skin? Huh? What'd you say? You should have arrived a few years back. The old vault sure was something. You know, for the accidents. You should have arrived a few years back. The old vault sure was something. You know, for the accidents. What if we go back to the surface and nobody wants to know us because of our...
Been a long time since we had a good community gathering around here.
Yeah, people who eavesdrop are the
Animals
worst.
up there. Any of them good for eating?
What'd you say?
You smell something weird?
Don't... Welcome back. How are things going? We're sorry that you had to be the one to deal with all of that.
Yeah, it's good to know there are still people outside, especially people who are capable.
Thanks. We couldn't have done it ourselves. Is there anything we can do for you?
Your skin isn't split at all.
Security said he was nothing to worry about.
Well, we're not really ones to gossip.
Not with outsiders, anyway. But you're all right.
Maybe we can share a few details.
I don't see why not. What did you want to know? Strict but fair. He runs a tight ship. As long as you hit your deadlines and don't cause problems, he's actually pretty pleasant.
But you don't want to find yourself on his bad side. I heard he was a pretty ruthless businessman before his overseer days. I doubt he's actually changed all that much. Just don't mention his, condition. It's kind of a sensitive subject.
You have to be in the business world, especially in wartime. He's always been pretty respectful during the rounds and inspections, especially when Cassidy was around. Say what you will about the man, it's clear he would do anything for his wife. He was head over heels for her.
She did keep him level-headed. She just up and disappeared one day. I hope she's doing well wherever she is.
Is there anything else? He's friendly, but can be dismissive. He does his best to keep things safe and orderly, but we can see he kind of resents it. Especially having to work for Overseer Stolz. We just haven't figured out why, other than being overworked. The Overseer seems to be keeping him extra busy lately, particularly after everything that's been going on.
That storm is gonna get worse.
He's always been friendly. Heck, even used to be fun. Would always be up to party after work. Now though, huge stick in the mud.
Someone do
Can't say I blame the guy, but last few years he's been more, what's the word?
Boring.
Cold, bottled up, like a shaken Nuka-Cola ready to burst.
Is there anything else? Well, it used to be a lot busier. We'd take the rail line to work in the different wings each day. Then there was the accident, which, honestly, we still don't know much about. After that, most folks we knew became what we call the Lost. And the Overseer became, well... Oh, and then there was the earthquakes recently. That destroyed any way of easily reaching the other wings, even if we wanted to fight them back from the Lost.
It's not all bad. We got food, shelter, safety, and space. It'll sure be nice to be able to get back to work, but just think of it as an extended vacation.
63 has lasted this long.
I'm more worried about how much work we'll have to catch up on when things get back to normal. If they ever get back to normal.
We tried to keep working here in the atrium, even outside the vault, but in the end we just stopped. Been locked in here a while now, and looks like nothing's changing until that storm outside passes. Is there anything else? Yeah, we'll spread the word that you are someone trustworthy. Thanks again for all the help. You're all right, outsider.
Don't you be starting to change things up around here. We got a system, and it works, damn it.
You need something?
It's a shame we don't have the workforce.
Hopefully Daniel will report in soon. So, you're back. I hope you have good news for me. Well, color me surprised. Good work. With that out of the way, I'll be able to focus on the more important matters, like dealing with the chaos going on outside of this vault. I don't suppose that those three had anything interesting to say while you were helping them? Unusual for those three not to gossip with everyone they meet. Then again, you are a stranger. Still, it can be hard for people to know who to trust. But enough about that. Now that you've helped me out, is there anything I can help you with? First, your reward. I'll arrange for something from our armory. I'm sure you'll find a good use for it in the future. I'm sure I'll have more for you to do soon. If you're sticking around a while.
There was a landslide around the mansion?
It's good to have someone reliable to count on again. Maybe now we can start fixing things around here. Maybe I can dig up some information on the rest of Appalachia. Could prove useful. What are you planning, Stolz?
Seeing someone do so much good around here, it's refreshing.
It's a shame we don't have the workforce to spruce this place up a little.
What brings you back in here?
Don't you be starting to change things up around here. We got a system and it works, damn it! Out there, you know, skin.
Ah, the one from outside.
How's it slide around the mansion? I wonder how that happened. It's a shame we don't have the workforce to spruce this place up a little.
I'm tired of all the red tape and security checks just to get a breath of barely fresh air. I'm tired of all the red tape and security checks just to get a breath
Smooth
of barely
skin.
fresh air.
Rad roaches. I wonder what other new terminology people are using out there.
What if we go back to the surface and... Nobody
What
wants
brings
to
you
know us
back in
because of
here?
our...
What's up? 63 has lasted this long.
condition.
No reason to think it won't keep lasting. Seeing someone do so much good around here, it's refreshing.
I could use... So, shall we begin? There are some tasks that I'm unequipped to handle myself, and I need your assistance.
Vault 63 has lasted this long. No reason to think it won't keep lasting.
Excellent. As you've hopefully been made aware by now, the source of the weather phenomenon outside is a device that is under our control. Or rather, the lack thereof. Control, that is. In order to solve this error, we'll need to acquire the weather machine's blueprints. They are in the wall safe just over there.
I miss research, and science, and discoveries.
If only it were that simple.
Screw it.
The safe can only be opened with a key. A key that my beloved wife Cassie has chosen to hide in a very secure location. So secure that only she knows where it is. This is problematic, as she has been unwell and unresponsive for quite some time. That said, she was a diligent notekeeper.
Seeing someone do
I'm
so
certain
much
you
good
could
around
find out
here,
where she moved the key to if you were to search through her notes. You should find them all in our room upstairs. It is unlocked, so you should be able to just walk in. With my condition as it is, I'm unable to do this myself, and thus, my new friend, the task falls to you. There was another copy, but I don't even want to get started, to be honest. Intellectual property can be so tricky to keep locked away. Perhaps tracing down the problem is something we could look into another day. For today,
these jumpsuits
the
don't
safe
leave much room
is our
for
solution.
expression.
I'm concerned for my wife's privacy. Her notes could include audit reports and other sensitive information. While it means nothing to a stranger like you, it could sow discord in our vault. I'd rather not have files go missing or rumors spreading. You understand, don't you? I dare say I barely understand it myself. Prior to certain circumstances, I was blind, born that way. Since sad circumstances, I've come to be able to see, but not in the traditional sense. Alas, written text, paper, and terminal alike remain my mortal foe. Discussing the boring details any further are for another time, though. Please, let's return to the matter at hand. You will? Oh, wie wunderbar. Best of luck. I could use some help over here.
The new animals up there. Any of them good for eating?
You reckon that storm's gonna get worse or better? I miss research, and science, and discoveries, and news. Screw it. I miss how it was before.
Been a long time since we had a good community gathering around here.
You should have arrived a few years back. The old vault sure was something. You know, before the accidents.
We should probably start planning Alfie's funeral.
You should have arrived a few years back. The old vault sure was something. You know, before the accidents.
I miss research, and science, discoveries, and news. Screw it! I miss how it was before.
I'm really gonna miss Alfie.
There was a landslide around the mansion? I wonder how that happened.
It's safer down in the lower levels again, now that the infestation is taken care of.
I'm not sure there's enough of us left to do that.
I'm really gonna miss Alfie.
I'm tired of all the red tape and security checks just to get a breath of barely fresh air.
There was a landslide around the mansion? I wonder how that happened.
We felt the whole vault shaking a while back. Security said it was
I miss research, and science, and discoveries, and news. Ah, screw it. I miss how it was before.
What the hell are you doing in here? Get your filthy hands off her! What's that? Oh. I understand. I apologize. Truly. I'm just very protective of her, you know? She is my other half, and life is just not complete without her. Of course she has the key herself. I should have known. Apologies for the confusion. I often forget just how unusual my situation has become. I was born blind, and lived that way even after becoming a ghoul, as you put it. However, as I've mentioned, an accident at this facility altered me, not unlike the lost that wander the surface. I see the world in pulses, wavelengths, a universe of violent synaptic connections, carving out and outlining every object and person. Navigation is trivial for me now. I was able to spot you in these sacred grounds even from my office. To the lost, I imagine this vision is a curse, a terrifying cataractous cloud that distorts their world. To me, it is a new life. Needless to say, I don't find myself bumping into things while getting around the vault anymore. Nothing. She's perfect. Always has been. Always will be. The same incident that has put me into my condition. Well, it made her quiet. Tired. She'll be right in no time. All the more reason for you to get a move on with those weather machine blueprints. No? I don't think it's anyone's business to see my wife whenever they wish. I'm sure you wouldn't like that either if you were in her position. Just exposed for anyone to see like some animal in a zoo? No, not my Cassie. She deserves peace and quiet to recover. Is that what I've said? I suppose I revealed too much with too little context. Forgive me. Now isn't the time to discuss such things, not before you have a better grasp of what we are contending against here. Yes, very well. If you would excuse me, I would like a moment with my wife. Come find me when you have the blueprints.
Reckon that storm is gonna get worse or better?
Vault 63 has lasted this long. No reason to think it won't keep lasting.
don't have a workforce to spruce this place up a little.
Vault 63 has lasted this long. No reason to think there was a landslide around the mansion. I wonder how that happened.
I could use some help over here. I could use some help over here. I believe you have something for me. It is a step, yes. You'll be provided more information shortly. Do be patient. Remember, this is all new to you, but years in the making for us. Well, they're no good to me. I can't read them. Go deliver them to my daughter, Audrey. She's the one who's leading the effort to repair the weather machine.
Works, damn it.
Oh, and before I forget, our conversation earlier, in Cassie's room. Water under the bridge, yes? I do hope we can keep that just between us. I'd hate for rumors to flutter about.
Before the storms.
Left in this world that hasn't been pulled apart for loose screws and circuit boards. This is Appalachia Radio.
I'm happy to hear it. Oh, and before you go off to Audrey, I would like you to indulge me in another thought exercise I've been meditating on. If you were to repair a ship by replacing it plank by plank, piece by piece, so much so that no single piece of wood from the original vessel remained, would you have a new ship? Or would it still be the original, only improved? Right you are, my friend. Both in the origins of the question and its complexity. Let's say for this example that we can agree that eventually it is a new ship. Because I think the more interesting question is, at what point does it become so? After half of the planks? After the final part is replaced? Perhaps the rudder? Or mast? If we were to change piece by piece, at what point do we become something entirely new? Up. One moment. Let's perhaps hold on an answer. I'd rather that linger with you a bit. And you have important business to attend to. Now, off with you to see Audrey. She's buried in her books in the meteorology sector. I hope you have some good hiking boots. It's quite the trek. Safe travels. I could use some help over here.
We felt the whole vault shake.
Did you need something?
Security said it was nothing to worry about, though.
It's a shame we don't have the workforce to spruce this place up a little.
There was a landslide around.
When it rains, it pours. When it rains, it pours. You there! I don't know you. Why are you in my lab? What's this? Oh, the blueprints. Fantastic. Did my father send you? Are we hiring outside help for the mailroom now? Never mind that. It doesn't matter. All that matters is that I finally have these. Sure is. Biologically, anyway. Can't say he's ever acted much like a father. Nowadays, he's more my boss than my dad. A boss that keeps interfering with my professional and personal life. Anyway, you were saying? Well, the name says it all. It used to be a machine that did the weather. You know, monitoring it, controlling it, just the usual stuff. I think we picked it up as a way to sweeten the pot when my father was getting the board to approve this vault. A bit of nepotism later, and here I am. My father refused to listen when I told him my talents are wasted on this machine, but in the end, the research fell off after the bombs fell. Later, we found a very important reason to look into it again, of course. Which I'm not really comfortable sharing more on. Sorry, we did just meet after all. To summarize, this machine is important. My father wants it fixed, and I'd very much like Father to stop pestering me about it. Yes, yes. Very excellent parcel delivery. Off with you, then. Actually, wait a moment. A helpful minion could be quite useful. Could you give me 2 seconds to read this? Here's a little reward for you. Count your bottle caps while I go over these blueprints. Come back when you're ready for more work. Perfect. The blueprints specify the exact part we're looking for. Well, I could use someone with outdoor experience for starters. Based on your skin condition, I'm guessing you're not from around here. That means you walked here. You're perfect for the job. Believe it or not, the Shenandoah Visitor Center has a device for monitoring the weather. While vastly inferior in complexity, it contains parts that you won't find out of any old toaster left to rot. It won't be a perfect fit, but even if the part is remotely close to the one that broke, I should be able to do some modifications to make it work. I'll analyze these blueprints more and do some research ahead of time, just in case. That just leaves you with the task of actually fetching it. If you don't mind, that is. That kind of thing is not uncommon for a national park this size. They had lots of tourists coming and going. Inclement weather would mean closing down some trails, or the park altogether. Anyway, that's the past. Doubt the park rangers have much use for it now, right? So, will you grab it for me? More than read. Study. I'll need some time to understand how the entire machine operates if I'm gonna modify it to make the part work. Unless you think they're ordered out of a catalog weather monitoring system uses the same exact parts as our top secret state-of-the-art tech. Sorry. I understand you're putting yourself at risk here. Believe me, this is important. Maybe. There's a lot more to it than just that. You're years behind us on this, so let's just ease you into it for now. To set your mind at ease, we're working toward not just fixing the weather, but possibly even the lost themselves. You'll see. Just bear with us for a bit. We could really use your help on this. Thank you. The visitor center is just north of the manor, on the cliff. It's probably completely abandoned. The building isn't too big, so you should be able to find it easy enough. Once you have the part, come back here, okay?
Whoa! Oh! Who are you? Don't hurt me, please. I'm Kevin. I used to be a park ranger here before the bombs dropped. Well, I'm not sure I'm fit to be a ranger or whatever this park is transformed into these days, though. But, you know, the uniform is comfy enough, I guess. I live in a bunker just outside. Actually, wait a second. We got a little more pressing issues right now. Oh, really? Oh, okay. Well, that's a relief. Well, it's not here. It's back in my bunker. There's a bit of a problem, though. The door to my bunker got jammed from the inside, and I got locked out. I just went out to get some essentials. I rarely leave the bunker. Of course, I had to lock myself out when I do. Anyway, good news is, there's a second entrance in the basement of this building. Bad news is there's a bunch of weirdos in there now. I don't know who they are or what they want. I've never seen them before. But they did not seem the friendly kind, huh? I just came in here minding my own business when I heard some creepy chanting and talks about some Alex sending them here for a sacrifice. I panicked, and I locked them in. I don't think they noticed, but I bet they'll be real mad once they do. kind of sacrifice you and me would make for. Human. They looked heavily armed. I didn't dare get any closer to find out more. You've got yourself a deal. Come and let me know when they're all, dead.
I go to the divine light. Now to my final reward.
I stopped hearing screams. So I came through, to check on you, yeah? And I wasn't sneaking off. Never seen them before. Whilst they were locked up in there, I could overhear some of their conversations and chanting, though. They kept bringing up a moth an awful lot. Well, the radiation must have been too much for them. They also kept on and on about some big ritual and how some Alex had sent them here to help. Either way, I'm glad they're gone, and I hope this Alex person won't send any more this way. Oh, well, maybe we should have kept one of them alive, to pass on the message. Well, hindsight's 20/20, they say. If I knew where they were. I'm the last one around here as far as I know. But, to be honest, I prefer my own company anyways. Well, it's been my home ever since the bombs dropped. And I am really not in the mood for finding a new home. A deal's a deal. Follow me. I'll show you to my bunker. The machine is in there. Well, the machine you're after is just over there. I mean, it's pretty hard to miss. Thanks for helping me out getting back here. I'd ask what you need, but I doubt I'd be of any help. I mean, have you seen those weirdos? So, yeah, excuse me for being a little shaken up. As little as possible. Yeah, I only leave when I need a few essential resources, and I don't see why I should leave more often than that. I got everything I need in here. Well, a few went out scavenging, never to be seen again. Others left to search for their families. I'm not sure if they died or found someone, but oh, I sure wasn't going to risk my life for them. Sure. Not at first, I didn't. Just a few of my fellow rangers. And when the bombs dropped, we made our way to the bunker. None of them stayed very long, though.
Did you find the part we're looking for? What a relief. I must admit, I was a little unsure there would be any machine left to rescue parts from. I hope I didn't get you into too much danger to retrieve it. I knew you would be a good fit for the task. But that aside, I never heard of any cult in these parts. Then again, I never heard much about any cult in general. My father kept me fairly sheltered. Quite literally. I wonder what they were doing there. Alex? No, she couldn't be. Sorry, I knew someone named Alex. I never found out what happened to them when the bombs dropped, but it must be someone else. Would you mind getting the part in place? It should be pretty simple after my modifications. All the connectors are standardized now to fit a regular part. I do it myself, but I just need a minute to gather my thoughts. I mean equipment. I'll be right there. This facility is filled with state-of-the-art technology, but you probably can't even appreciate that. I don't have time for a long chat. I don't have a lot of time, but I can always find some to talk about my research. Where do we start? Well, the research we did prior to the bombs dropping is classified. And to be honest, who cares anymore? My current research is focused on the weather machine and its relationship to the Lost. That said, I'm not gonna go into that either, because we'd be here all day, and to be honest, I'm not sure that's something I want to freely discuss. Fine, the quick version then. A few years after the bombs, our residents were fighting against going feral, a complete loss of their minds. All of our research facilities pointed their efforts towards solving that. The weather machine included. By complete accident, we discovered that close proximity to the machine had a sort of reversing effect on the symptoms of feralization. Things didn't shake out as planned, though. I'm sorry. Really, this is all I'm willing to share on this. I mean it. Not like I had another choice. You've met my father. He doesn't really take no for an answer. Not quite. I've always been interested in nature and science. I'd spent hours watching the stars as a kid. No, what I actually wanted was to pursue astronomy. But my father needed a specialist and insisted it be a family endeavor. I was put in charge, but my team did all of the heavy lifting. I think they saw my heart wasn't in it, that I was mainly a family figurehead. I guess my research still has me looking up at the sky. That's almost astronomy, right? For sure. I suppose. Anything in particular? My parents were never very present or available, so I'm used to not having them around all the time. But between my father and my mother, I do wish it would have been him in a coma. At least my mother had some heart left. After my father was done corrupting her. It's always the good ones that we lose, isn't it? No. She is a sweetheart. Maybe a little too sweet for me. We had very different upbringings. I do envy her sometimes. Her parents actually cared. Sometimes it's hard to believe we're actually all related. For sure. Good. I'm busy anyway. right. I got my equipment together. Let me see how you did in placing the part. Passable. You forgot to hook up a few of the connectors, but a solid attempt for a first-timer at weather machine repair. All that's left now is to get a scan of my mother's eyes. She is the only one in this vault authorized to override security checks when we reboot it.
Audrey! Audrey! I thought I heard your voice in here. Oh, and our new friend is with you. Good, we might need you. We have an emergency. Your mother. She's gone.
What do you mean, gone? I thought she was in stable condition.
No, not gone like that. She's not in her room. Someone has taken her. They've left a note. Oberlin read it out to me. Some gibberish about a Mothman.
Didn't you say they were connected to an Alex? So if this Alex is connected to these cultists, and the cultists kidnapped my mother, could it really be her? Why would she take Mom?
Alex? In a cult? No, that can't be. I took care of her.
What did you just say?
Nothing, my dear. I misspoke.
No, you definitely said I took care of her. Want to elaborate on how you took care of her father?
Okay, look. I didn't intend for you to find out, but she was a risk to your future and that of our family business. I had to ensure you would stay here with us. I only did what I had to do.
Why am I not surprised? I had a feeling you were behind her disappearance. How was your own daughter's happiness ever a risk? Every single bit of my life has always been dictated by you, and I have been miserable for all of it.
Now, that's not true. You've always loved all this tinkering and such. All I did was make sure you were safe and would focus on what's important. The family business. And look around. Look how well it has worked out. This machine you've helped build and maintain. It's a true masterpiece.
Are you delusional? Look at us! Look at those mad lost running around! Mom is in a coma, for God's sake! How has any of that worked out well? I cannot reason with the unreasonable. I need some air to process this.
She'll come to her senses. There's always a flair for the dramatic. Takes after her father, I suppose. We have more important business to discuss anyway. We need my wife back. Pronto. And you've more than proven yourself capable of that task. So please, I could use your assistance. We don't have time to get into this. She was a bad influence on my daughter, a threat to the family business. I had to protect the business, and most importantly, Audrey, from her communist ideas. Now can we focus on the real issue at hand, please, and take care of Alex? Now that stupid letter is what got us all into the situation in the first place. I should be telling you off for putting your nose in what's none of your business, but I think we have long passed that point. Cassidy and I were shocked to read the note. Such vulgar language. To think she is well read is beyond me. But enough of that. Back to your assignment. As much as I'd like to trust Audrey, I had to make sure she wouldn't turn against me. Cassidy had to authorize any major changes or security checks to make sure Audrey is keeping on the right track. Thinking of it, it may have not been the best idea to only have one person authorized to do all this. Well, it's done now, so you better get going before they kill her. Wunderbar. Getting this machine repaired is in everybody's best interest. Now, the note left behind mentions something about an old abandoned mine. I remember there was only one within the park. Nearly purchased it at one point for some... actually, that's not important. Try and blend in as one of the cultists. I fear they may harm Cassidy if they spot an intruder. Find where they're keeping her and get rid of Alex. I expect you to do a better job than the last person I sent to deal with her. We can't say for certain, but the gun I hired never returned, so it's possible she survived. And let's say that joining a cult isn't outside the realm of possibilities when it came to her eccentricities. But even if it isn't the same Alex, whoever has kidnapped my wife deserves to die. Preferably, yes. But I guess you're right. It's only led to more chaos, hasn't it? I guess you could try and talk some reason into her. I do have this book. You could use it as a peace offering from me. I took it off Audrey. It appears to have been a gift from Alex. I thought it best to remove anything that might rouse up sentimental feelings. You know the sorts. Silly young romances. Anyway, I think this could be enough to persuade her and invite her into this family. Yes. If that's the price I have to pay to get Cassidy back alive, then I guess I will come to terms with Alex being in our lives. Well, no. Maybe Audrey has a point with that whole happiness thing. And maybe you have a point about that whole violence thing. Anyway, can we focus on getting my wife back safely? Knew I could count on you. Now you better get going. I will deal with Audrey. Meet me back in the atrium when it's safe to get my dear Cassie. I will send out some people to transport her back safely once you've completed your mission.
You look like you need some pointers on how to handle robots. Care for